Imagine an endless library of billions of books. No catalog, no filing system, no librarian. Information is piled to the ceiling, multiplying by the hour. That was the pure chaos of the internet in 1997. This visual comparison shows exactly why finding anything in that pile was a nightmare. Early search engines simply counted keyword frequency. If you typed a query, the system rewarded pages crammed with repetitive spam words, burying clean, relevant information at the bottom. Human knowledge was expanding exponentially on digital servers every single day, yet we entirely lacked the mathematical machinery to sort it out. The early web faced an immediate usability crisis. Without a functional navigation system to separate signal from noise, the digital revolution was going to choke on its own raw data. The solution to that massive data bottleneck didn't come from a corporate laboratory. It started inside a cluttered 1998 Stanford University dorm room. Two PhD students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, looked at the raw, unorganized mess of the internet and decided to build a machine capable of reading all of it. They wanted to download the web, analyze every single document connection, and mathematically rank human knowledge. What began as a strictly academic experiment laid the concrete foundation for an empire that now tracks your exact location, your daily habits, and your most private questions. They originally named this project BackRub. The core technological innovation behind it was the PageRank algorithm. Instead of blindly counting how many times a keyword appeared on a single page, Page and Brin designed their math to analyze the relationships between different web pages. In this diagram of the network, you can see their core logic in action. The algorithm treats a hyperlink from one website to another as a democratic vote of confidence. As a page accumulates links, it grows in authority. But not all votes are equal. If a massive, highly established site links to a brand new page, it instantly transfers an enormous amount of weight to that smaller destination. This single mechanism turned the chaotic void of the early internet into a cleanly mapped network. The results were fast, relevant, and terrifyingly accurate. By 1999, Page and Brin had built the perfect tool, but they wanted to go back to their graduate studies. They approached the tech portal Excite to negotiate a buyout. They offered to sell the entire PageRank algorithm, the very underlying code for their search engine, for exactly $1 million. Excite flatly declined, so they lowered the asking price to exactly $750,000. The CEO of Excite still said no. Walking away from that algorithm remains one of the most expensive financial mistakes ever recorded. Cornered by that rejection, Larry and Sergey were forced to keep the company. They moved the servers into a garage, where they had to figure out how to aggressively monetize the internet's best tool to survive. Google had an existential problem. PageRank drove massive amounts of user traffic to their site, but it generated absolutely zero revenue. Server space cost money, and they were bleeding cash. They flatly refused to clutter their clean search page with standard flashy banner ads. They needed a completely different financial engine. Look at AdWords. Instead of random banners, the system delivered quiet, targeted text ads based entirely on the specific query a user typed. An advertiser only paid a fee when a user searched for their exact category and actually clicked the link. AdWords capitalized on perfectly timed human desire. It answered what you wanted, right when you wanted it, acting as a completely invisible, limitless money printing machine. This second code solved their survival problem overnight. By guaranteeing precise, measurable returns on investment, Google quietly hollowed out the traditional advertising industry. Combining these mechanisms created a cascading effect. PageRank brought in billions of users, and AdWords converted their specific intents into an endless geyser of capital. They weaponized this infinite wealth to dominate the rest of the digital landscape. They used the cash to build the Chrome browser and outright purchase the Android operating system, securing their hold on mobile data. Then they moved from the digital web to the physical planet, launching Google Maps to track roads, storefronts, and traffic patterns. By mastering these two engines, Google gained the resources to mediate and track nearly all human interaction, both online and offline. The search engine eventually outgrew its original container, restructuring into a massive parent company called Alphabet. Operating far beyond web searches, Alphabet sits today as a $2 trillion corporate leviathan. They use that massive capital to fund the next frontier of computation, pouring billions into quantum computers and AI models housed in desert data centers. By training AI on the trillions of queries and data points they have archived for decades, they are now building recursive systems capable of operating at a level of complexity that no individual human engineer could manually program. A project that began in a cluttered dorm room with a noble mission to organize the world's information has, through the sheer perfection of 2 mathematical codes, effectively come to own it.